Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. Welcome, and super duper happy to have you here for round one of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in January Tournament Finals, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunmen and Glacier Gaming. And we got 4 rounds of action, mayhem, and strategy coming your way today, ladies and gentlemen. But first and foremost, sorry, I'm multitasking as I do this. For those of you who aren't quite acquainted as to who I am, I'm RedEyes, your ever-lovable and adorably cuddly caster, bringing you the daily dosage of butt kickery, tomfoolery, and all-around shenaniganism. And yes, of course, as I said, we do have 4 rounds today of action, mayhem, and strategy coming your way. But before we get too much into it, let's go over some of the teams. We've got Pittsburgh Knights, Nova, Execute, Christie's Fan Club. Ooh, let me get this music turned down. My apologies. There we go. Lots of tabs open. I'm still sort of new to the emulator. Yeah, we got Christie's Fan Club, Mizexis, Lotus, Infinity, Your Executioner, Clock, Freedom, Manic, F7, Allied Esports, ITX Esports. We've got Golden Eagles NA. We've got lost my spot. We've got Growing Stronger, Puppeteer, Ventru, 4M4, and Glock Gaming. So I'm expecting action right off the bat. And we are, as we said, starting off with Erangel, the very first map ever introduced to the game. So this is the map that the player should be most acquainted with, and it's obvious an ideal flight path. But what needs to be said about Miramar? Well, it's basically the off-red love child of Sandhawk and Miramar, because it really is the perfect middle ground between those two extremes, which does leave it fairly reliant upon the flight path, so they're pretty lucky here. But without wasting too much time, I do want to see the spread here. Already, we got some teams heading out pretty early. It looks like we might even have a Zarky drop for the likes of Your Executioner, and they're going to be just above the boys in Execute, ironically enough, who are going to be taking the North George region. A little further off to our south, we can see members of Ventru heading alongside F7. Further down south, it looks like Mizexis is the only team to drop on the military base island, luckily for them. But we might end up getting some action already here. I can see a little bit of a close confrontation in the works, and that would be between the likes of Ventru and their opponents in F7. Now, give me just a moment to get this slot list pulled up here correctly. Because it has been updated. And voila. Says voila a little too early. But yeah, guys, so this is going to be the monthly tournament that I have been running now for, as of the start of February. It'll be 2 years running. And this is going on every month. Thank you to Hunter of Gunmen and Glacier Gaming for their amazing support and sponsorship, that they do it out of the kindness of their heart entirely. So huge shout out to them. Let's see here. Get this minimized. I apologize, guys. I am still a little, as I said, just getting acquainted with this emulator, and I'd realized that we are in the wrong scene here. But for those of you just now tuning in, we are still in round 1. No one has been knocked yet, and, well, I take that back. We actually have lost a member of Nova, potentially. I need to double check on these. Yeah, we did lose a member of Nova, didn't we? Yes, it looks like GK First is out of the equation, leaving things riding on Kindness, Madness, and KK Love. And this is a rough situation, as they are in hot pursuit by the likes of ITX Esports. And here we have them firing back in retaliation. Kindness taking a little bit of damage, being brought down and reduced to about 3/4 of his overall health. But they were able to return a knock onto the likes of ITX, and that's going to be huge for them. And it looks like they have thirst on the mind here. Oh, nades already raining down on them, putting Kindness in a bit of a predicament, taking him down to below half health. And a little bit of retaliatory nades fired back, but not really the connecting damage that they were hoping for. So, let's see here. While we have a brief moment, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, maybe we don't. We might not have that brief moment. And, oh, he gets them both? Wow, that is a tough pill to swallow any way you look at it, ladies and gentlemen. Goodness gracious. Well, that is not what Nova was hoping for at all. And this is going to absolutely put them in a bit of a hindrance, reducing their starting team in half, which means that they're going to absolutely need to dial things back a bit if Kindness is not able to get the revive on his fallen teammate as KZ Love provides overwatch and cover fire. And here we have it. Kindness firing away with little health, and they secure it. Wow. That is impressive. What a comeback there. Let's see. So what else is on the board at the moment? Looks like, yeah, we are actually getting a little something happening here between the likes of Execute and their opponents in Your Executioner, ironically enough. How fitting the names are for this. We got Kitten 1, 2, and 3, and Master. All right. So, the boys in Your Executioner look like they aren't that eager for the confrontation just yet. And that's fairly understandable, ladies and gentlemen, because we are just in the beginning stages of this event. And we've got, as I said, 4 rounds today. So it makes sense that you don't want to put yourself at too much of a disadvantage too early on. But with that being said, you know, what does that mean? It means we have a brief moment here to maybe even go over the format as it currently stands. So keep in mind the format has changed a little bit since I made this graphic, but bear with me here. So in the qualifiers, we had 20 teams competing. Of those 20 teams, 4 advanced now as we run 3 qualifiers rather than 4. So that's 12 qualified teams plus 8 invited Tier 1 teams for the finals. And I apologize for that blending mode. That was atrocious. But anywho. So yeah, that is basically the structure. We ran 3 rounds of qualifiers, and 4 teams from each qualifier made it here to compete against this group of Tier 1. That is Dottie from Glock Gaming with a quick thirst on the likes of Manic. Nicely acquired there. No way! Come on. I honestly not... Oh, never mind. It's right there. All right, we're golden. We are getting clips just like I hoped. So, oh, and the action between Your Executioner and Execute is still going on. And that is Kitten 2 with an immediate takedown. And it's going to be a revive on their fallen teammate. Everyone is okay. And just like that, Execute acquires their first 4 kills of the game. So, leaves me to wonder, where's the next bit of blood going to come from? Well, it could be a little bit closer inbound towards the center of zone. Highlighter. Sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. There we go. Boom! And we're in business. So I think potentially here at this portion towards school, in between school and Pachinki, we do have a little bit of a confrontation potentially looming between the likes of F7 and their opponents in Golden Eagles. Now, whether or not that's going to amount to a confrontation is yet to be seen. We definitely have reason for hesitation, especially considering that this is a large map. And ladies and gentlemen, large maps are 3 out of the 4 maps that we're going to be working with. So yeah, we are going to be occasionally left with moments of downtime, pockets of silence, bits of in-between time. But you know what I always say, ladies and gentlemen, is a more passive early game always is going to direct to a more action-packed and climactic mid or end game. So it's going to be worth the trade if you ask me. But getting eyes once again on the crew and Manic, at this point now reduced down to Vortex and Vortex alone, unfortunately for him. This is going to absolutely put a hindrance on Manic's progress here in the placement of this overall event, especially considering that his opponents here in Freedom still have quite a few members chasing him, and the only way for him to get out of this is probably to take on the fight, because he is just in the middle of the open land with nowhere to really hide at this point. And boom goes the dynamite, all too metaphorically. So, great action already underway. And ladies and gentlemen, let's just have a brief look here at this map as it currently stands. Ooh. Yeah, this is not a bad zone here. However, it does lead me to wonder what is going to happen with the likes of this riverway kind of just dividing the zone. It looks like right now everyone is sort of clustered on this southern half here, with exception to the likes of Execute. So realistically, everyone else could be due for some early confrontation here. Early is a bit of a lenient term. All right. This is where it all starts to get a little bit clustered. Yeah, it looks like the crew in Nova was actually able to secure a knock on a member of Allied Assault. And Allied Assault seems to have strayed from their teammates here, and exercising that 3-1 split comes with obvious advantages and obvious disadvantages. Yeah, the advantages, you're not all going to be taken out in one spray. However, the odds of you being able to help out your teammates if they are in trouble, it's a lot slimmer. And ooh, just like that, we have the Pittsburgh Knights up against the likes of Ventru. With Spec taking quite a heap of damage, he's going to have to take what little bits of cover he can here and try to get healed up here while what's his name of the Pittsburgh Knights try to provide overwatch and cover fire for him. And here we have it. This guy right here, cooking up a nade. Oh, but being naded out in retaliation instead. Revenge served cold and fast, leaving things riding on Spec and his other teammate, pardon me. They're entering as just a three-piece, coming in at an immediate disadvantage, and another one down, leaving Spec as the final hope here for the Pittsburgh Knights. Spec trying to bow out, dip out of dodge, and get to a position of cover and try to carry on the team name for his group here, and hopefully not put themselves at too much of a detriment in round one already. You know, the best thing he can do for his team at this point is acquire some placement, or at least lessen the hurt of the hit that they're going to end up taking for this. All right, we're going to go tune into Crispy's Fan Club, another three-person team here, coming in at immediate disadvantages, and they are nearby the likes of Puppeteer. As you can see, Fishy here with a bit of high ground and a vehicle to pull a quick rotation in. And it looks like he's going to prioritize getting to his teammates and maybe securing a position in zone over that fight with the likes of Puppeteer. And I can't really blame him. As I said, guys, this is just match 1 of 4. We have a lot of action ahead of us. Now, if you are not aware, however, please do be aware now. The first half of this event is going to be streamed on YouTube and Twitch. However, the second half of the event will be on my YouTube alone. It will not be broadcasted on any other platform but YouTube, and that is so I can try to get some subscribers on that platform. I'm trying to hit 1,000 before July, so I can start monetizing on there as well. Every little form of income helps. So please do be aware. It is going to be youtube.com/@redeyes_official, or you can just look and search in the YouTube at redeyes_official. I will paste that link here for you. And here we have it, KK Love of Nova firing away. I see you guys in here. All right. Bam, bam, and wait. There we go. Now it's on Twitch stream. You will be able to find the link to the YouTube at the very top of the chat feed. Oh, it looks like Ventru is having a little bit of action off in the distance here. I'm going to tune into that for just a brief moment, catch eyes on what they're up to. Ventru looking fairly strong here, still a full 4-person team with 3 kills to their name. You cannot put enough emphasis on being a full 4-person team here come in-game. It can be an absolute difference maker. This is Nightizen firing away with that M4-3X combo aimed outward at the likes of Golden Eagles, but not getting any such connecting damage. And this here, ladies and gentlemen, is that calm before the storm scenario. It is about to get sweaty. We've got teams just swarming in on the eastern portion outside of zone, and there's already gatekeep opportunities here for Christie's fan club, as well as for the likes of Growing Stronger up against Mezexis. Growing Stronger and Christie's fan club may end up facing off. Growing Stronger and Execute could end up. Execute, let's give them a little bit of credit where credit is due here as well, as they are already claiming a bit of a high ground positioning, utilizing this mountainous region, and doing so are able to get a nice little portion with their back turned against the zone. Not going to have to account for that once the zone is closed, and they've got a nice overwatch over this whole area. All right, no time to waste. Here we go. Texas up against Texas. Here we see Trick firing away, M4 in hand, dealing out some damage, but taking more damage than the light from Execute from behind. Kitten taking a ton of fire here and is down. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen. Right. And it is not over. It looks like Mezexis is doing some quick work onto the Execute, as the other Kitten Master is down as well, leaving it on. Oh, this has Fates. Kitten 1 is taken out as well. Well, we have got one member of Execute left. That's going to be Kitten 3. And Kitten 3 does have a knock on one of the Mezexis crew. I'm not sure if it was, it looks like it was probably Little Master or Kitten Master, yes, who was able to get that takedown. I'm not positive about that either way. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is that calm before the storm, if there ever was one, but not going to last long. Pittsburgh Knights' last final member, Spec, driving on into zone. It's a risky and aggressive push, considering how open this area is. But, you know, options are becoming fewer and fewer for him. And, you know, I was going to say the advantage of it is maybe being able to use that vehicle for cover. However, that doesn't seem to be his reasoning. He was maybe trying to get an earlier position towards a central location in the zone. And that there is definitely warrant for that. We're going to go through the crew in plot, checking on what they're doing, and it looks like they are facing off right now as well. We got what's his name down, leaving it riding on Birds, West Mellow, and what's his name? Now here comes the Execute final member, Kitten 3, driving right on by. And oh, just like that, Mezexis up in the thick of it yet again. And look at this, Mezexis, everyone on the team has a kill. However, they did lose Peralta in the process. So, in their standoff right now against the likes of Allied Assault, it's a quick takedown. Speaking of Allied Assaults, let's get a brief eye. Oh, yep, Trick actually cooking up a nade here. And boom goes the dynamite. It's actually YOC27K takedown with his nade. And then Trick adding on to the insult, adding a little insult to injury right there with another takedown on top of it. And look at this, Puppeteer Fang going after Christie's fan club off in the distance. But now we got Growing Stronger's final member here. Nope, not even final member. They are still a full team. Couldn't have been more wrong about that. Yamraj actually using a Bison UMP combo, interestingly enough, relying entirely on SMGs. It is a bold move, Cotton. You don't often see it at this level. Zero Kill and Yamraj are the only two remaining up. Tygon has been knocked in this situation. All the while, Christie's fan club has been reduced down to 2 members. Keep in mind, they only started off as a 3-piece, but they're finding themselves sandwiched in between the likes of Infinity and Mezexis, and this could be a problematic peanut butter and screwed sandwich, if you will. Poppy Chulo firing away with that 4x4, getting a lot of pressure onto the opponents in Infinity here, but not really. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, this is yeah, oh, did I say it? He does get a takedown on Mandy. Mandy is down. It's going to be a tough one for him. Fishy taking quite a bit of damage as well in the process, being reduced down to about a quarter of his overall health. But look at this, Poppy Chulo does get the first, but Fishy is naded out in retaliation. Boom goes the dynamite, all too literally in this situation, leaving Poppy Chulo as the final remaining hope here for Christie's fan club. And looks like we got another potential altercation in the works. Puppeteer swarming on other members of Infinity to just add on, maybe get some third-party kill steals. And yep, Infinity is out. Papi Chulo trying to drive on by his opponent and execute. Keep in mind, that was just a solo as well. So you can understand maybe why that last little kitten from execute didn't fire away. But Papi Chulo is not out of the fire yet. Maybe he is. He was pulling up uncomfortably close to the crew in Clot, but Clot bows out themselves and driving way down south. They're going next to the only other full four-person team that was down there, which was Ventru. Ventru bowed out, and look at this, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to bring a little bit of attention to just how spread out Ventru is here. They are kind of pulling a bit of a risky move here, but not without its purpose. By spreading out here, they're kind of able to play the bully scenario, using their numbers to their advantage when the zone is just so small, just limiting their opponent's options even further. So it's not without warrant. However, it is a risky move. Gonna switch over to Growing Stronger? No, I'm not, because they are out of the equation already. Giving 9 kills now to Ventru. A full 4-person team still at this stage in-game, but not just a full 4-person team, with a full 4-person team with 9 kills in their favor. They are looking extremely comfortable right now. And as I say it, the caster's curse lands right on them, and that is Walls being naded the H out. And that is going to be at the hands of Nova, which is going to leave Conor as the final remaining, Conor, Nitizen, and Juan G remaining here for Ventru. And it looks like Nitizen going to be pulling on up to the altercation fairly aggressively as he's cooking up a little bit of hellfire here for his opponent, Nova. And with Walls down, here we go. Nitizen, can it hit? Oh, it does some damage to Caleb. Not quite enough. Puppeteer facing off in distance, and that is Conor getting a takedown on Mad GG. Is Nitizen going to use this opportunity to push up? It looks like he might. All right, nicely done by Nitizen there. Very nicely done. Okay, there we go. Now we got the clips all gathered. All right, so guys, we're down to just a couple teams here. Look at this. Puppeteer, also a full 4-person team, swarming on what remains of Christie's fan club, which at this point is just Papi Chulo. Guys, we are down to literally 5 teams, and ironically enough, 3 of those 5 teams are still 4-person teams, and one of them is a 3-piece. This is going to be a heck of a Papi Chulo with a beautiful takedown on Puppeteer members here who did not seem to know about his presence, but oh, giving up his location, and he just became a bowling pin to the bowling ball that was the Puppeteer teammates. We got Conor of Ventru getting a takedown here off in the distance. Lotus Esports, who we're just tuning into for the first time today, looking like they're looking fairly strong too, with 3 members still up and 5 kills to their name. All right, guys, just like this, Ventru is going to face off with Puppeteer in a cross-zone battle here. A little bit of distance, but distance is said with a little bit of context and perspective into it. It's not really far. This is a great opportunity for the likes of Lotus to potentially get a third-party kill steal, but here we see it. Blinky driving right in between the action, right in between a rock and a hard place, just kind of lining himself up for being taken out there. All the while, Plot holds position. Guys, final 3 teams here with 11 members remaining. It's a 4v4v3 to end round 1. Let's get it. Come on now. All right. Oh, just like that. More little love triangle action. I think I might even go full sky view here, just to get a more broad perspective of just how these teams are interacting. Because if 2 teams focus on one, it's it for that group. I mean, almost instantaneously, you would think. All right. Well, with Juan G down, Konor goes down too, leaving it up to Nidoson and Walls. Plot still holding position, guys. This is definitely a different strategy than the other two teams. Even though they are making it as a full 4-person team to end game, they're doing so with 1 kill to their name. And while placement is huge, ladies and gentlemen, it is not going to be likely enough to get you the first place prize. And this is a winner-take-all with the exception of $5 frag. Oh my goodness, Wes Mello with a monster nade there. Beautiful nade. And look at this, another one to get the thirst on Konor. But look, Revenge served cold and fast. He's got Hellfire raining on him, burning him down to 10%, but not enough to take him out. He is surviving, ladies and gentlemen, by the hairs on his chin here. Come on. I'm not trying to go underground here. There we go. Well, Wes Mello, I am all about watching this guy's nade. It's another nade on Konor, taking him down again, and tries to secure another thirst. This guy's nades are just monsters, and he does secure the thirst right there on Nidoson, and Konor is out of the equation too, just like that. And just like that, this is going to put Ventru down to Walls, and Walls alone here. That is going to be a bit of a predicament, but let's give credit to Clot. They were able to utilize that aggression in the very final moments of round 1. Well, got Puppeteer riding on in. Yeah, Fang at the forefront of this push, driving right into his own demise, just like that, leaving Faye as the final hope. Faye and Yunzai as the final hope here. But look at this, guys. Puppeteer, 11 kills to their name, just really showing a lot of aggression and doing so very effectively. Well, guys, this is the final combo here. Clot, Puppeteer, and the final hope for Ventru, Walls. Hey, that's Bird with a takedown, and he's utilizing the 3-1 split. It's not an easy tactic to pull off, but if there was ever a time to do it, in-game could be the most advantageous. Retaliatory nades raining on him. His teammate getting a knock with a nade of their own as well. And just like that, Ventru does make it all the way to second place. But it is not going to be enough, ladies and gentlemen. And you have got to give it up. Clot putting up just a phenomenal performance there, ladies. Goodness gracious. Any way you look at it, that's going to be game over. We have got to give it up to the likes of Clot. They just absolutely dominated this performance and did so with 8 kills, but that in-game was just intense. Now, in terms of kills, speaking of which, Ventru actually going a little bit further into that extent with 12 kills to their name. Almost perfectly distributed, too. Great performance on their end as well. You know what? I'm going to mute that so y'all don't have to listen to it. We got Puppeteer in 3rd place, but doing so with 11 kills, and 10 of those kills are between Junzai and Fang alone. Great work on those two ends. Lotus Esports securing 4th place with 5 kills between G59 or 659 and Blinky. Christie's Fan Club in 5th with 2 kills, both of which are from Poppy Chulo. We got the likes of Nova securing 6th place, and that is going to be with 10 kills even between K-Love, Mad GG, and Kindness. We got Execute grabbing 7th this time around with 4 kills. 3 of those 4 are thanks to Kitten 3 alone. Mizexis grabbing 8th with 7. 4 of those kills came from Inactive alone. Growing Stronger securing 9th with 2. We got is this Freedom? FD. I do apologize. I'm not really sure who FD is. I have F7 Esports. Anyone knows in the chat, please do be sure to let me know. But they grabbed 10th with 3 kills. We got Infinity securing 11th. Unfortunately for them, no kills to their name. 12th place is going to go to the likes of Glock Gaming. That's me with 2 kills from Cash. 13th belongs to the Golden Eagles with 2 kills from Stranger. We've got the boys in Allied Assault grabbing 14th, but with a big fat onion for kills. Speaking of onions, we got F7 in 15th with 0 as well. Pittsburgh Knights in 16th with 1. We've got 4J. 4M4, pardon me, in 17th with 0. Manic in 18th with 1 kill from Asus. We've got the boys in Your Executioner in 19th with 0. And lastly, it's going to go to 20th place is going to go to It's Esports with 1 kill from Lemon. Alrighty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was an absolutely sick start to the event. But keep yourself on the edge of your seat because we still have 3 more rounds ahead of us. 3 more rounds of action, mayhem, and strategy. And we have seen our participants here now on the first map ever of Erangel, but I'm curious about what's going to happen when we take things to that wide open desert. I am, of course, talking about Miramar as we return for match 204 in just a few very short minutes. This is my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in January tournament qualifiers, tournament finals. And we're going to be back at you in just a few short moments. Stick around. We'll be back soon. And boom goes the dynamite. It's actually YOC27K with his nade. And then Trick adding on to the insult, adding a little insult to injury right there with another takedown on top of it. Right. And it is not over. It looks like Muzek is doing some quick work onto the executors. The other Kitten Master is down as well. Leaving it on. Kitten 1 is taken out. Which means they're going to absolutely need to dial things back a bit if Kindness is not able to get the revive on his fallen teammate as KZ Love provides a lot of cover fire. And here we have it. Kindness firing away with little help. And they secure it. Wow. Ironically enough, 3 of those 5 teams are still 4-person teams. And one of them is a 3-piece. This is going to be a heck of a Poppy Chulo with a beautiful takedown on Puppeteer members here who did not seem to know about his presence. But, oh, giving up his location, and he just became a predicament. But let's give credit to SWAT. They were able to utilize that aggression in the very final moments of round 1. Well, we got Puppeteer riding on in. Yeah, bang, at the forefront of this push, driving right into his own juncture with a full 4-person team still at this stage in-game, but not just a full 4-person team, with a full 4-person team with 9 kills in their favor. They are looking extremely comfortable right now, and as I say it, the caster's curse lands right on them, and that is Walls being naded. Let's see here, while we have a brief moment, ladies and gentlemen, have that brief moment, and oh, he gets them both? Wow, that is a tough pill to swallow. Anyway, here we go. Knight is in. Can it hit? Oh, it does some damage to Caleb. Not quite enough. Puppeteer facing off resistance, and that is Konor getting a takedown on Mad GG. Is Nidison going to use this opportunity to push up? It looks like he might. Did I say it? He does get a takedown on Mandy. Mandy is down. It's going to be a tough one for him. Fishy taking quite a bit of damage as well in the process, being reduced down to about a quarter of his overall health. But look at this, Poppy Chulo does get the first, but Fishy is naded out and retained. So, yeah, that is basically the structure. We ran 3 rounds of qualifiers, and 4 teams for each qualifier made it here to compete against this group of Tier 1. That is Dottie from Glock Gaming with a quick thirst on the likes of Manic. Nicely guy's nade. It's another nade on Conor, taking him down again and tries to secure another third. Oh, and the action between your executioner and execute is still going on. And that is Kitten 2 with an immediate takedown. And it's going to be a revive on their fallen teammate. Everyone is okay. And just like that, Execute acquires their first 4 kills of the game. And a little bit of retaliatory nades fired back, but not really the connecting damage that they were hoping for. So, let's see here. While we have a brief moment, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Might not have that brief moment. And oh, he gets them both? And this is a winner-take-all with the oh my goodness, Wes Mello with a monster nade there. Beautiful nade. And look at this, another one to get the thirst on Conor. But look, revenge serve driving right on by. And oh, just like that, Mizexis up in the thick of it yet again. And look at this, Mizexis, everyone on the team has a kill. However, they did lose Peralta in the process. So, in your standoff right now against the likes of Allied Assault, it's a quick takedown. What little bits of cover he can here, and try to get healed up here while, what's his name, of the Pittsburgh Knights, try to provide overwatch and cover fire. And here we have it. This guy right here, cooking up a nade. Oh, but being naded out in retaliation instead. Revenge served cold with a little bit of context and perspective into it. It's not really far. This is a great opportunity for the likes of Lotus to potentially get a third-party kill steal, but here we see it. Blinky driving right in between the action, right in between a rock and a hard place, just kind of lining himself with peanut butter and screwed sandwich, if you will. Papi Chulo firing away with that 4x4, getting a lot of pressure onto the opponent in Infinity here, but not really. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, oh, did I say it? He does get a takedown on Mandy. It is a full 4-person team to end game. They're doing so with 1 kill to their name. And while placement is huge, ladies and gentlemen, it is not going to be likely enough to get you in first place prize. And this is a winner-take-all. Oh my goodness, Wes Mello with a monster nade there. And with walls down, here we go. Night is in. Can it hit? Oh, it does some damage to Caleb, not quite enough. Up here facing off in person, and that is Conor. We're getting a takedown on Mad GG. Is Nidison going to use this opportunity to push up? It looks like he might. Third round here. Well, Wes Mello, I am all about watching this guy's nade. It's another nade on Conor, taking him down again and tries to secure another thirst. This guy's nades are just monsters, and he does secure the thirst right there on Nidison, and Conor is out of opponents here in Freedom. Still have quite a few members chasing him, and the only way for him to get out of this is probably to take on the fight, because he is just in the middle of the open land with nowhere to really hide at this point. And boom goes the dynamite, all too metaphorically. Because if 2 teams focus on 1, it's that group. I mean, almost instantaneously. Alright, well, with Juan G down, Conor goes down 2, leaving it up to Nidoson and Walls. Alright, no time to wait. Here we go. Texas up again. Here we see Trick firing away, M4 in hand, dealing out some damage, but taking more damage from Execute from behind. Kitten taking a ton of fire here and is down just like that. And boom goes the dynamite. It's actually YOC27K with his nade. And then Trick adding on to the insult, adding a little insult to injury right there with another takedown on top of it. It is not over. It looks like Mizexis is doing some quick work onto the Execute as the other Kitten Master is down as well, leaving it on the Fates. Kitten 1 is taken out. which means that they're going to absolutely need to dial things back a bit if Kindness is not able to get the revive on his fallen teammate as KZ Love provides watching cover fire. And here we have it. Kindness firing away with little help, and they secure it. Wow. Ironically enough, 3 of those 5 teams are still 4-person teams, and one of them is a 3-piece. This is going to be a heck of a team. Bobby Chula with a beautiful takedown on Puppeteer members here who did not seem to know about his presence, but giving up his location, and he just became a predicament. But let's give credit to Clot. They were able to utilize that aggression in the very final moments of round 1. Well, we got Puppeteer riding on in. Yeah, Bang at the forefront of this push, driving right into his own dungeon. A full 4-person team still at this stage in-game, but not just a full 4-person team, with a full 4-person team with 9 kills in their favor. They are looking extremely comfortable right now, and as I say it, the Caster's Curse lands right on them, and that is Walls being naded. Let's see here. While we have a brief... Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Sorry about this. I just gotta get this fixed here. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to round 2 of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in January Tournament Finals, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunmen and Glacier Gaming. And we are going to be kicking off round 2, as you guessed it, a Miramar. Now, what needs to be said about a map like Miramar? Well, essentially, it's going to be the largest map that we have in the game. Technically, Erangel is the same size, being an 8x8, but that includes Erangel's bodies of water, so realistically, this is the largest map that we're going to be dealing with, meaning that the odds of 2 teams landing next to each other is going to be a bit slimmer. But it is also the most open map that we have in the game. Now, what do I mean when I say most open? I mean, the odds of you being sniped from 300 meters away is just going to be exponentially higher. So you need to be alert of not just your immediate surroundings, but your distant surroundings as well. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't look like the most ideal flight path. And it's, by all means, it's not a great one. But it's not as bad as it looks. And the reason being is because of this route here that goes from Campo Militar down to like this prison Los Higos area. And this path, while it's not centralized, it runs right through 2 strings of cities. Just tons of drop options here, and this flight path is going to leave about half of those drop spots open to the participants, and that's why I say it's not as bad. But let's see, focusing in a little bit further here, we can already see Bacado looking like it's going to get some love in. That'll be Pittsburgh Knights, Golden Eagles, Lotus Esports potentially, and the likes of ITX. Does look like ITX is actually going to be going overhead. So we'll go by tuning in to the PKs here, the Knights, as it were. And here we see it, Long Thong. Long Thong, what a funny name. Firing away. He's already got himself that M249 LMG absolute squad killer early game. But every second that goes by, it's more and more likely that those Knights are getting better and better looted. So he's going to have to be quick if he's going to get that aggressive early game push. Let's see here. Oh, no time to waste. Looks like Lotus, or pardon me, not Lotus, Nova up in the likes with members of Growing Stronger, not far off. We can see GK first here is a little bit further out. Mad GG, by far the closest, but with his back turned to the opponent, just desperately trying to get looted up. And look, it looks like Manic's already going out for some blood here, and they've got a lot of ground to make up for after having a very rough first match. So they absolutely do need this. Every kill counts here. And as you can see, they are facing off against the likes of Your Executioner, and Your Executioner at this point reduced down to a 3-piece, I believe. Yeah, they lost Storm in the process, leaving it riding on Yas, King, and Hog. We got Yas right here, Mini 14 S18 shotgun for weaponry here. That's out of necessity more so than preference, obviously. But he's just awaiting what he thinks is an inevitable push from Manic. Manic not really biting the bait here, though. Leaving me to wonder, where's the next bit of blood going to come from? Go tune into Christie's fan club. They're pretty darn close in proximity here to their opponents in 4-4. 4-4, we got, oh, 666, getting a takedown right then and there. And revenge served cold and fast as Playboy retaliates. Oh, look at this. Gosh. 4-4 now riding on Belkson, Limitless, and Jader. Belkson with a little bit of high ground here, but he's going to compromise that to go after Fishy with his partner here and use the numbers. Understandable, and Limitless does successfully get the knock, at which point Belkson just adds on and secures the thirst. What other... Ooh, look at this. For your executioner just being swarmed upon, swimming in a pool of Manic members. And look at this spread here, ladies and gentlemen, that Manic has over him. Surrounding him on three sides with an opportunity to secure a fourth angle. Just like that, Vortex picks off one of them. Yep, it is going to be Hunter of Gunmen, one of the amazing sponsors of this event, already with being taken out of the equation, leaving it riding on Yas and King alone. King firing away, Yas firing away, taking minimal damage in the process, and he does secure a takedown on Asus. But that's going to put them in a 2v3 scenario. It's very doable, but they're still out of number disadvantage. They're going to have to play it a little bit cautiously. Go ITX, go execute. Let's go GOT Gaming. You guys, thank y'all so much for being here and showing your support. I know the view count is not absurdly high right now. We got 10 on YouTube. Hey, Mommy. I see ya. I see ya. Mommy, this event is going to be broadcasted on YouTube exclusively for the second half. So if you don't have that link, apparently it keeps on unpinning. See here. It's pinned now. Sorry about that. Now, we are still just waiting here. Manic just exercising a ton of patience here, just outnumbering their opponents and somehow not swarming. I don't even want to say resisting the bait. Maybe just a little too unsure of themselves. Maybe a lack of confidence or momentum. But their hesitance to push on what is undoubtedly a huge number advantage in their favor, it could be problematic for them down the road. You're going to have to be able to handle your confrontations to win this event. Yes, placement is great, and it will get you pretty far, but it's going to be the kills that more often than not are the deciding factor here. Granted, placement is extremely important. I didn't mean to downplay it here. I'm not going to stick around watching this for too much longer. I think we're going to go instead and tune into the Golden Eagles as they prepare for a fight with Nova. Here as we speak, we got Rise. Kindness taking out Bagel. Stranger down as well. Rise and Fangs are all that remains. Fangs with a 6x Scar L. And just like that, he is the final hope here. He is the last Eagle remaining, and the Eagle has flown home to the nest because he has got to carry on the name for his team and secure some placement if they want any shot of being a legitimate contender for first place. All right, well, Nova still going off in the distance. I keep looking in on that, thinking it's about to pop off, but Nova now with 3 kills, and Kindness adding onto it with another thirst of his own, bringing them up to 4 kills between Kindness and Mad GG alone. All right, Manic yet again adding on little spark to ignite the flame here. They really really, really need a strong match here to counteract what happened in the first one. And just like that, with Vortex securing yet another kill for the team, they are up to 4 kills as a full 4-piece. It's a strong position to be in this early on. All right. We can see we got some stragglers as members of Puppeteer are doing a 2-2 split. 2 members still hanging out in a city at Valle del Mar, just trying to get more properly looted, it looks like. While the other 2, actually it's a 2-1-1 split. And every man for himself split. I did withdraw my previous statement. And that's going to provide certain advantages and certain disadvantages, as we spoke of earlier. The advantage is you're not all going to be taken out in one spray, but the disadvantage is if you or one of your teammates is attacked upon, the ability for them or you to assist the other, it becomes a lot more difficult at that point. But also, speaking of split here, we got these boys trying to secure a little bit of high ground, but it's outside a zone, so that's still probably not the ideal location for them just yet. Keep in mind it's still relatively early on in game, so the zone's not going to just obliterate them right off the bat, but they are, if they fire, they're going to get the attention of numerous teams who have the opportunity to gatekeep them. So that Overwatch might not be worth it in this position. Oh, Mad GG, just like that, naded out, and it's going to be at the hands of Allied Assault. That's going to leave things riding on KV Low. Might not actually be Allied Assault. It looks to be the boys in Freedom. Yeah, Freedom trying their best to keep the pressure on them, but Long Thong has been taken down in retaliation, leaving it riding on D, Jackie Chan, and Wang. All right, Mizexis coming in from outside of zone from the southbound portion, pushing their way up towards other members of Freedom here. Let's see how this plays out. Come on, let me click on this. That is Jackie firing away with that M44 pressure on the freaking Peralta, but not getting out the game he's hoping for. However, retaliatory damage is but luckily he's got Wang there, Wang to get that vehicle explosion. However, he's just barely surviving this, being shot down to less than a fifth of his overall health, leaving it riding on Long Thong here to provide a little bit of an overwatch, you'd think, as Inactive from Mizexis approaches from the side. This could be an interesting play of events here. Inactive with a nade raining down on Wing. Wing awfully low on health still. And it looks like Inactive going to try to smoke his way a little bit closer to secure a utility drop on to the likes of Freedom. And now Peralta has come to join his teammate here. Let's get a little bird's eye view above the ground so we can see around the smokes. That nade dealing out minimal damage to Wing. A little bit more damage from Inactive's nade to add on to it. Oh, Peralta is taken down right in front of our eyes at the hands of Jackie Chan. That's going to leave... it's going to leave Inactive to do the... Well, I was going to say Overwatch and try to revive the teammate maybe, but he is taken down as well, leaving Trick and their other teammate, 27K here, as the final hopes for Mizexis. They're a little bit spread from one another here, whereas their opponents in Freedom, a full 4-piece, are still a clustered unit. Now, I don't know in this position which is going to be a more advantageous strategy, because, you know, in this case, Mizexis is a tier 1 org, and with Freedom all clustered, you know, 1 or 2 well-thrown nades could end it for them, for the likes of Freedom. And that's Jackie Chan still continuing to fire away, trying to get 27K out of the equation, but not getting the damage he was hoping for. All right. Let's see here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just like that, we are going to switch the attention over. Well, I guess we'll wait and let the whole second match play out. I was going to go ahead and do an early switch to YouTube only, but I think we'll get the attention of others just for a few more minutes, and then after this match, the remainder of this event will be streamed exclusively on my YouTube alone to try to build a subscriber count. 27K does get the takedown on Wing. But with low health, he is downed in retaliation. That was kind of to be expected at that point, as Jackie just finishes off what little health his opponent had left with that UMP. So, where to tune into at this point? It's definitely going to be a little bit of pressure here for Trick, of the last final remaining member of Mezexis, as he is just trying to hold position, lay low under the radar, and not bring attention to himself from the likes of Freedom. Now, whether or not they already know of his location is yet to be seen. But if they do, not only do they have a high ground Overwatch view, but they could bring 1 or 2 members down there and just get multiple perspectives. Trick's moments could be few here. Yeah, and it looks like Freedom is unaware, and they are going to bow out and leave Trick to carry on the name for Mezexis, maybe acquire some better placement here for his team. Not going to waste too much time here. It looks like we got the likes of Glock Gaming pinched in between Execute and Pittsburgh Knights. This could be very problematic. Another peanut butter and crude sandwich scenario, potentially. All right, well, Cash of Glock Gaming trying to get away from the Knights, not taking any damage in the process, but now resituating himself in between Knights and ITX Esports. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mezexis, the final hope here. Trick now out of the frying pan into the fire, so to speak. As Freedom drives away, Clot drives up to it. They must have heard the shots, smelled the blood in the water, and tried to come pick off whatever was going on here. Now, realistically, if Trick knows, then all he's got to do is lay low, for most likely. It's not, I wouldn't imagine Clot really trying to push on something where they have no sound for reference here to assume that he's still there. Faye from Puppeteer downed just then, leaving it riding on Soul, Doomseye, and Fang. Got Fang coming in from the side. Could get a potential angle here on Kitten 1. Kitten 2 also moving around. Looks like they could be distracted by Glock Gaming, and they are! Just wrecked apart along with the remainder of his team. Pittsburgh Knights hear all the noise and commotion. Are they going to come to the party? It looks like maybe not. Oh, yes, they are. Look at this. Here we have it. Little Overwatch opportunity for Puppeteer. Look at that. F7 going after Infinity in the distance. West Mellow taken down. Fang brought down before our very eyes at the hands of one of the Kittens. The Kittens are still... This is Execute Kittens here. But they still have 3 members up. Kitten 1, 2, and 3. Like a Dr. Seuss novel. All right. 4 and 4. Jader working on Puppeteer as well. Picking off the remains. And a little bit of a spread here remains. 55 viewers, guys. Thank you so much. All right, Clot having at it in the distance. I think they just were eliminated. Potentially, no, they were not. They're still a full 3-piece. I say full 3-piece. That's kind of a contradiction, but they entered as a 3-piece. And West Mellow, him is down. West Mellow remains, and that is that for him. Clot. West Mellow, the last hope for his team. This is a team that performed exceptionally well in round 1. But it is important to note, ladies and gentlemen, that these maps are all completely different from one another. You know, they vary in terms of size, type of geography, and with that different geography, there's going to be different strategies implemented. What works so well on a map like, you know, Erangel might not be the ticket for a wide open desert like Miramar or the lush condensed forest of Sandhawk. So you need to be very well rehearsed in basically every map. Every scrim map. All right, Execute swarming on their opponents and growing stronger. They've got a knock on one of them, and looks like another nade raining down, taking Tygon extremely low on health, down to about a little under a third of his overall health, and just like that, a little icing on the cake as he is taken down, leaving 0, and Growing Stronger is out of there. Spec almost eliminated from the Knights here. They are sandwiched in between 3 teams, Execute, ITX, as well as Ventru. And luckily, he's got his teammate here to secure a revive. Another teammate in charge of Overwatch and cover fire, not really putting out a lot of heat, but keep in mind, they entered as a 3-piece, so they definitely need to play things from a more reserved standpoint than a full 4-piece. At least try to utilize placement as a high priority for the first 3/4 of the match, and maybe become a little bit more aggressive in the final quarter of the match might be the more advantageous tactic. At least managing to secure your placement at the very least. Looks like Ventru having at it with Lotus down south. Nidazan being taken down. Lotus with 1 kill to their name, but still a full 4-piece. Very much in the mix here. Potentially being fired upon from behind by Allied Assault. Allied Assault, another full 4-piece. However, a big fat onion for kills so far, at least. All right, couple single taps of warning fire here from FNA. Not getting any connecting damage whatsoever. Lotus, a little more distracted here with Ventru. Pittsburgh Knights driving right in between Ventru and ITX. This is going to be intense. All right, Spec cooking one up. Scammer taking a little bit of a hit there. Reduced down to a third of his overall health. Definitely, oh, more nade damage to add on to it. He is just on the brink of a knock. He needs backup and he needs to heal up. And with only boost to do so, it's going to be a tough one. Nasty, a little preoccupied with other members of the Knights here. Barrel M7. We got Imhack here. And Simple holding position, but boy, talk about them sandwich situations. We got another team, Execute, swarming in, now sandwiching ITX in between Execute and Pittsburgh Knights. Pittsburgh Knights sandwiched in between ITX and Ventru. We got ourselves a love square going on. Hearing some shots off in the distance, we see walls of Ventru just trying to enshroud himself in a cloud of smoke and maybe keep a little bit of utility pressure on the Legal of Allied Assault. Legal trying to retaliate with a nade of his own, but neither participant really hitting close to the mark there. But as I say it, boom! Quan G taken down to below half health. I actually thought that was going to be it. Clot, just like that, I would imagine. West Mellow secures another kill. I thought he was eliminated, but no, he secures another kill. Now with 3 of the team's 4, and he is the only one remaining here for Clot. He's the last hope for the team, so to be engaging with the likes of a 3-piece like Freedom, it's going to be a risky play, but I like to see the aggression. Creeping a little bit closer, being a sneaky little desert snake as he approaches his own position. We got Fates of Execute going off in the distance. Pittsburgh Knights still continuing the pressure. Ventru going off in the distance as well. And that, just like that, West Mellow is out of there. Well, Pittsburgh Knights Spec just trying to utilize an exercise in patience here as all these fights happen all at once. Simultaneous just warfare, bloodbath warfare happening here. Ventru, Conor trying to retaliate on the Knights with a nade. Will it connect? It got awfully close, but actually it's going to be the Knights, the one he was trying to throw the nade at. They threw a nade, however, in retaliation that did hit. Knights with 4 kills to their name, 3 of which go to this member right here. Lotus coming in and picking off Allied Assault. A great little third party. This is TFNA getting a little bit of false sense of comfort here. I see this all too often. These shacks are more often than not a team's undoing, because you're basically like fish in a barrel, case and point, asking for it. I'm definitely adding that one to social media. All right. Gonna get eyes on ITX again. Well, actually... Sorry, guys. Okay. All right, here we go. The final showdown here for match 2, ladies and gentlemen. We got Freedom, Lotus, Pittsburgh Knights, Execute. Pardon me. We got ITX. Oh, man, Lotus is facing off as we speak, actually. Let's go check it out. And as I say it, they're out of the equation. Well, what about ITX? They still 0 kills to their name, guys. This is, you know, a little bit too radical in one shift of the options for PUBG Mobile strategy. There's the reserved kind of passive approach, which will get you to a certain point in the match. Absolutely, placement's extremely important. But if you're not getting kills in the process, you're almost counteracting all the progress that you've made. So you can't be afraid to take on your fights, especially in the finals of one of my events. Because I'm bringing tier 1 pro teams into the mix, and I can guarantee you they are not afraid of facing off against you. All right, Kim Hack is the final hope now for ITX as Scammer down, Simple is down, and look at that, Spec just picking off what remains of them. Hack is now the final hope here for his team, trying to just give himself what bits of cover he can, which just goes to utilize the importance of utility, or goes to mention the importance of utility systems in game when cover can become few and far between, especially on a wide open desert like Miramar. Well, PK here is going to be definitely needing to heal up, while this little PK needs to revive Spec. All the while, we got Hack facing off against Execute, dealing out a knock onto Kitten 1, Kitten 3 soon to follow potentially. All the while, Kitten 2, brought down to half health, needs to fall back and heal. I don't know if they're aware that Hack is a solo either, so that could explain a little bit of their hesitation on him. Now, Hack could be leaving his backside vulnerable. Keep in mind, it's in-game, and look at that, just like that, Lotus comes in and secures the knock. He tries to steal the kill from him, but in doing so, made himself vulnerable to the likes of the Pittsburgh Knights. All right, Lotus. We got Kites here, trying to get to a position where he could potentially flank. And guys, we're down to a 3v4 scenario. It's Lotus versus the likes of the Pittsburgh Knights. Let's get it. Spec taken down as well. It's going to be all on this guy right here to revive his teammates in time before the swarm from Lotus. And he does so get one revive. Now, if he can revive Spec, it's a huge error on Lotus' end. But boy, that nade raining down on him, and he has got very limited moments here. And boom, taken out. Only one hope left for the Pittsburgh Knights. And ladies and gentlemen, ooh, just like that. I don't care how you look at it. That's game over. What an intense second round. But we have got to give it up to the likes of Lotus Esports. Phenomenal performance, putting up 13 kills between Blinky, G59, and Kites alone. Great performance as well to the Pittsburgh Knights, who came in as just a 3-piece and have 6 kills between Spec and what's his name. Execute, grabbing third. Great performance between them as well. A lot of aggression, and successful aggression, I should say, and decent placement as well. On top of that, it's going to land him in a healthy position, third place with 11 kills. We got ITX securing fourth this time around, but with a big fat onion for kills, it's definitely going to be a bit of a tough pill to swallow in comparison to a team like Freedom, who placed 6th, but did so with, 11 kills. So we got Christie's Fan Club in 5th with 2. And as I said, Freedom in 6th with 12 kills. Pardon me, 12 kills. I think that those 12 kills might be enough to boost them ahead of overall point gain for round 2 over ITX. We got Puppeteer grabbing 7th this time around, and that's going to be with only 1 kill from Fang. 8th place goes to Allied Assault with 2 kills, both of which are from VZM. Ventru grabbing 9th this time around with 7, 4 of which came from Nitizen. We got Clot grabbing 10th, and that's going to be with 4 kills. Definitely a huge drawback from their amazing performance in round 1. 10th place, definitely not going to be the kind of placement that they were hoping for. 4 kills, still probably not going to be enough to make it very significant in terms of point gain. But they did have that amazing first round, so they still are very much in the running here. We've got F7. F7 securing 11th with 2 kills, both of which came from Julie. Manic in 12th this time around, but with 5 kills, and 4 of those 5 came from Vortex. Growing Stronger in 13th, not quite living up to their name this time around. No kills for them in round 2. We got Infinity in 14th with 0 as well. Speaking of 0, 15th going to Ms. Exis with 0. 4-4 and 16th with 3 kills between Jader and Limitless. We got the crew in Glock Gaming securing 17th, but with 0 kills as well. Nova in 18th with 4 kills between Mad and Kindness. We got Your Executioner in 19th with 0. And lastly, the Golden Eagles in 20th with 0. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the first half of our match, or first half of our event already wrapped up. Now, we've seen our participants in the first ever map of Erangel, and now the wide open desert of Miramar, but I am curious about what's going to happen when we take things to that lush, condensed, small map. I am, of course, talking about Sandhawk for round 3, but before I leave, I want to just reiterate one final time here. As of right around the time you see this on the screen, I am going to be ending the stream on Twitch and streaming the remainder. The final 2 matches will be streamed on my YouTube only, on my YouTube, exclusively. That's youtube.com/redeyes_official. I'm pinning the link to the top of the Twitch chat. Let's see. All right. So if you are on Twitch, I see you in there. We've got 10 viewers there. Please, please, please do come on over to the YouTube and continue your support. We're going to go be rating someone on Twitch now. But yeah, guys, stick around because we are going to be back in just a few short moments with round 3 of 4 of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in January Tournament Finals, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunmen and Glacier Gaming. Be back soon. Oh, and the action between Your Executioner and Execute is still going on. And that is Kitten 2 with an immediate takedown. And it's going to be a revive on their fallen teammate. Everyone is okay. And just like that, Execute acquires their first 4 kills of the game. Extremely important. I didn't mean to downplay it here. I'm not going to stick around watching this for too much longer. I think we're going to go instead and tune into the Golden Eagles as they prepare for a fight with Nova. As we speak, we got Rise. Kindness taking out Fable. Strangers down as well. Rise and Fangs are all that remains. A full 4-person team still at this stage in in-game, but not just a full 4-person team, with a full 4-person team with 9 kills in their favor. They are looking extremely comfortable right now. And as I say it, the Caster's Curse lands right on them, and that is Walls being naded. All right, no time to waste. Here we go. Section up again. Here we see Trick firing away, M4 in hand, dealing out some damage, but taking more damage from Execute from behind. Kitten taking a ton of fire here and is down, just like that. Swarmed upon, swimming in a pool of Manic members, and look at this spread here, ladies and gentlemen, that Manic has over them, surrounding them on 3 sides with an opportunity to secure a 4th angle. Just like that, Vortex picks off one of them. Yep, it is going to be Hunter of Gunmen, one of the amazing sponsors of this event already. Come on. Not trying to go underground. Well, Web Mellow, I am all about watching this guy's nade It's another nade on Konor, taking him down again, and tries to secure another third. Ironically enough, 3 of those 5 teams are still 4-person teams, and one of them is a 3-piece. This is going to be a heck of a Bobby Chula with a beautiful takedown on Puppeteer members here who did not seem to know about his presence, but giving up his location, and he just became a, which means that they're going to absolutely need to dial things back a bit if Kindness is not able to get the revive on his fallen teammate as K Love provides overwatching cover fire, and here we have it. Kindness firing away with little help, and they secure it. Wow. Got Fang coming in from the side. Could get a potential angle here on Kitten 1. Kitten 2 also moving around. Looks like they could be distracted by Glock Gaming, and they are. Just wrecked a pulse. Now the final hope here for his team, trying to just give himself what bits of cover he can, which just goes to utilize the importance of utility, or goes to mention the importance of utility so that cover can become few and far between, especially on a wide open desert like Miramar. Well, PK here is Ender for first place. Alright, well, Nova still going off in the distance. I keep looking in on that, thinking it's about to pop off, but Nova now with 3 kills, and Kindness adding onto it with another thirst of his own, bringing them up to 4 kills between Kindness and Mad GG alone. Opponents here in Freedom still have quite a few members chasing him, and the only way for him to get out of this is probably to take on the fight, because he is just in the middle of the open land with nowhere to really hide at this point. And boom goes the dynamite, all too metaphorically. Driving right on by, and just like that, Mizex is up in the thick of it yet again. And look at this, Mizex, everyone on the team has a kill. However, they did lose Peralta in the process. So, senior standoff right now against the likes of Allied Assault. It's a quick takedown. 4-4 now riding on Belkson, Limitless, and Jader. Belkson with a little bit of high ground here, but he's going to compromise that to go after Fishy with his partner here and use the numbers. Understandable, and Limitless does successfully get the knock, at which point Belkson just adds on and secures. Jackie firing away with that M4 4X pressure on the freaking Peralta, but not even out the open for. However, retaliatory but luckily he's got Wang there, Winger Wang, to get that vehicle explosion. However, he's just barely surviving this being shot, and this is a winner take all with the exception of crash. Oh my goodness, Wes Mello with a monster nade there. Beautiful nade. And look at this, another one to get the thirst on Konor. But look, Revenge served. It's a full 4-person team to end game. They're doing so with 1 kill to their name. And while placement is huge, ladies and gentlemen, it is not going to be likely enough to get you the first place prize. And this is a winner take all with the crash. Oh my goodness, Wes Mello with a monster nade there. Go tune into Christie's fan club. They're pretty darn close in proximity here to their opponents in 4-4. 4-4. Oh, 666, getting a takedown right then and there, and Revenge served cold and fast as Playboy retaliates. I don't know if they're aware that M-Hack is a solo either, so that could explain a little bit of their hesitation on him. Now, M-Hack could be leaving his backside vulnerable. Keep in mind, it's in-game, and look at that, just like that, Lotus comes in and secures the knock. He tries to steal the kill from him, but in doing so, made himself vulnerable to the likes of the Pittsburgh. And with walls down, here we go. Night is in. Can it hit? Oh, it does some damage to K-Love. Not quite enough. Up here facing off in the distance, and that is Konor getting a takedown on Mad GG. Is Nidison going to use this opportunity to push up? It looks like he might. And here we go. Nidison. Can it hit? Oh, it does some damage to K-Love. Not quite enough. Up here facing off in the distance, and that is Konor getting a takedown on Mad GG. Is Nidison going to use this opportunity to push up? It looks like he might. Every scrim. All right, Execute swarming on their opponents and growing stronger. they've got a knock on one of them, and looks like another nade raining down, taking Tygon extremely low on health, down to about a little under a third of his overall health, and just like that, little ice. With that different geography, there's going to be different strategies implemented. What works so well on a map like, Erangel might not be the ticket for a wide open desert like Miramar or the lush condensed forest of Sandhawk. So you need to be Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to round 3 of 4 of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in January Tournament Finals, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunman and Glacier Gaming. And we're gonna be doing round 3, as you guessed it, a lush condensed forest of Sandhawk. Now, what do we need to say about a map like Sandhawk? Essentially, it's the smallest map that we're gonna be working with. Now, technically, Livik, Karakin, and now the new map Noosa are all tinier than Sandhawk, but we don't mess with those too much in the esports scene. So this is the smallest map that we've got, meaning that the odds of two teams landing next to each other is just going to be a bit higher, just due to the, less space to choose from. But it's also the most condensed map that we have in the game. Now, what do I mean when I say condensed? I mean the most lush in vegetation. There's more natural cover to take, more grass to hide inside, and trees and boulders to hide behind. So you need to be alert for a higher than average number of snakes than usual. And the third and final thing I want to say about a map like Sandhawk is that it's so small that it finds itself almost entirely reliant, or almost independently of the flight path to determine what sort of early game we get. By that, I mean that the map is so small they can pretty much drop anywhere they want by deploying their chute early enough. So with that being said, the fact that we're not seeing a perfectly central flight path is not by any means very consequential to the participants. But as you can see, we're already getting some early jumpers. It's Puppeteer jumping northbound alongside the likes of your Executioner. Looks like Infinity going to be doing a bit of a split. No, I withdraw that. I was going to say a split approach. But I'm noticing as I say this that Chrissy's fan club is also with Puppeteer and your Executioner. And this could be early confrontation. Another early confrontation we might have on the board would be between the likes of, ooh. Gonna be other members of Infinity here facing off against, goodness gracious, who? It's, what is just all right, well, whatever. Oh, I see. It's the screen discoloration on my monitor. I thought it was Team 9, but it was Team 18. So it's actually growing stronger up against the likes of Lotus here. And Lotus, really shining through in the previous match. They've already gotten a thirst in their name for match 3 here, taking Tygon out of the equation, leaving it up to 0 kill Yamraj and Tsunami. Yamraj holding position. Oh, pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. Oof, rookie mistakes there. I'm not quite used to this emulator. It's going to take me a minute to get used to it, but also not used to the map scene as a separate scene. I think it's a nice touch, but I got to remember to focus on that. Lotus creeping in here on Yamrash. Luckily, we did not miss any, I didn't see any knocks that you guys didn't see. Yamrash holding position, awaiting an inevitable push from one of the members of Lotus. It looks like Nidison could be coming in from Ventru to get another angle. I don't think so. Let's get it. Yeah, wow. Actually, look at Ventru's spread here. I mean, they're a little ways out, but if they implement this placement here correctly, they could do what I have coined the BOA strat. It's usually a 2-1-1 split or a 3-1 split, where they essentially surround their opponents on 2 to 3 sides here. And Yamraj is down. They surround their opponents on 2 to 3 sides and just simultaneously constrict on them like a boa would. Now, it sounds super simple in theory, but realistically, it's one of the more difficult strategies to implement, because to secure that placement without being noticed, it takes a bit of finessing. Now, the advantages are, they're definitely there if you can implement it, having that extra perspective. Not only that, but the ability to steal the focus, that your opponent's focus, either onto you or away from you, onto your teammates, and that can be just absolutely huge for catching them with a surprise factor. But realistically, it's very rare that it's pulled off successfully in the Tier 2, Tier 3 community. And I would say, even at the Tier 1 level, it's only implemented very successfully by a few teams. I would say those teams would be the Pittsburgh Knights, Nova, and, while this might be up for debate, it's not in my eyes because I've seen them do it time and time again, the Panthers are very, very well rehearsed in that as well. And those are the three teams that I often see just beautifully executed. But Yamraj of Growing Stronger grows a little bit weaker as he is taken down to that mode, and leaving 0 kills as the final hope, and Caster Curse is real, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't believe it, I bet you do now. Well, Lotus not out of the frying pan yet. All that noise and commotion got the boys who are overwatching to swarm in a little bit closer. It's Ventru I'm speaking of. And as you can see, we've got Walls right here, ready and waiting and holding position with my favorite gun combo, the AK-47 UMP combo. And I know this is weird, but I am better with a 6X AK than I am a 6X M4 by a lot. And I'm not good with a 6X AK. All right, now it's time to end the stream here. Stream is now offline on Twitch, and YouTube is holding the exclusive remainder of this event officially. So, where is the engagement going to happen? Are we going to see a well-placed nade? No time to waste, because we got other fights happening. It's Nova facing off against the likes of Manic. It's actually Kindness in particular. Oh, trying to go prone, but too little, too late right there. Just at the last moment, leaving it all riding on 1962 here. And boy, 1962 shot down to a quarter of his overall health, going for a drop shot of his own, but yeah, the health was just not in his favor. The numbers weren't in his favor, and boom, Nova secures their first 4 kills of the game. Going back this altercation. And Blinky taken down right before our eyes, and so is his teammate. G59 is the last. Oh, G59 and 11 are the last 2 hopes here. Okay, good. We are getting all of it. All right, 11 somehow clutching it here for his team. That is going to be absolutely huge. Now look at this. Lotus, who had not the most amazing first round, but a great second round. And now, still a full team here with 8 kills to their name. It's absolutely huge, especially considering, oh my goodness, that drop shot was just beautiful. And Pittsburgh Knights up to 2 kills, trying to add on to it here with another knock. But Spec going to prioritize a revive, while What's-His-Name should be in charge of healing up, Overwatch, and cover fire. Yeah, and here we can see 4 teams at Painan. 3 teams on one side with members of Allied Assault on the other. Allied Assault dealing with the likes of Clot and the Pittsburgh Knights simultaneously. That is a stuck in between a rock and a hard place, metaphorically speaking. Khaled is getting pretty hurt here as well, being brought down low on health, but is able to get that first hit off and retaliate onto West Mellow with some UMP shots of his own. Minimal damage dealt, but still. That 1-year anniversary UMP looking nice. Alright, neither of... Oh, as I say, beautiful jump, beautiful takedown. That close to Annihilator is not UMP 45 is a beast. Well, looks like the Knights got a knock on a Clot member, and that could be a real opportunity for Allied Assault's Khaled to steal it, but I think he's making the right call and prioritizing the revive on his only remaining teammate, BFNA. But is it going to be in time to heal up before the push from Clot? If so, the fact that the Pittsburgh Knights are there could be a blessing in disguise for Allied Assaults, taking the pressure off of them just long enough to get revived and healed up. So I think in this case it worked out in their favor. But it does seem like Clot is getting closer, just to get a better idea of how close in proximity they are. Wow. Very, very close. BFNA literally right next to it. Khaled holding position. Can't blame Allied Assault. You know, I mean, Clot performed so well. And even in round 2 where they got 10th, they did so with a very intensive kill number. So Allied Assault is fully aware of skill level they're up to CQC. So now BFNA needs to finish the job. Oh boy. Final hope as BFNA is eliminated, but Khaled is removed from behind by the push from the Pittsburgh Knights spec. Now Clot working on the PKs, getting a takedown on what's his name. Leave it on Spec. What's his name? Spec is down. It's all on the final hope. All right, well, can he get this revive before F7 comes in now to join the party? This is rough, but we are down to one final hope here for the Pittsburgh Knights, and it's this gentleman right here, the last lion with that brand new enforced in here, and that thing is just a beast. It's such an elaborate skin with so many effects, and I love it. If only I was good with the M4. Well, Clot, F7, and Pittsburgh Knights in a bit of a love triangle here, and Spec, honestly, if you are, what's his name? Not Spec, Spec's out. If you are this final hope here for Pittsburgh Knights, I mean, it's got to be an exercise in patience, because you definitely don't want to present yourself on a platter between these two just swarms of opponents. All right. Well, this is the closest thing to a confrontation we have at the moment. The zone has shifted, and interestingly enough to note, ladies and gentlemen, the amount of water that is there. And it's important to note because it does take up more space. So on the smallest map that we're working with, that river's occupying a nice little chunk, maybe about a sixth of the map. So it's just even further. Here's Bird in the plot with a beautiful takedown with that M4. Oh, his opponent taking down in retaliation. Bird tries to retaliate, but he's out as well. F7 just annihilating the competition. And now as they come in to collect and reap the rewards. You okay, bud? You okay? You okay? Sorry, guys. It sounded like my dog is having some breathing issues, but I think he might have a scratchy throat or something. It happens every now and again for a couple seconds, and then it's gone. Once every other week or so. But that one got me a little nervous because he was breathing kind of hard. He's all good. The Oxters is doing just fine. My apologies about stepping away there, but we're back in the mix. Christie's fan club up against the likes of Puppeteer with Fishy at the forefront of this. Trading nades here with Jun Zai, pardon me. And boy, his nade hits hard. Jun Zai's taking Fishy down to just above half health, but not enough, even close enough for a knock. And as they say in the Bible of Vin Diesel, it doesn't matter whether you win by an inch or a mile, winning is winning. And if your nade doesn't do the full damage in a 1v1, unless you got those line of sights that you're hoping for. So Fishy, with a knock on a Puppeteer member, still has 3 more members of Puppeteer to worry about. And this is going to be interesting because these guys, we've seen them in aggressive situations. I was just about to give them a lot of props, and then Fang hurts himself. Stevie cooking up a nade, but quickly drawing back. He is not going to fall for it. And all the while, Nova going after somebody in the distance. Hi, sweet boy. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Just wanted to show you guys a good woofer. He's okay. He's a happy woofer. All right. Where's the next bit of blood going to come from? Looks like Lotus is actually getting some takedowns up against the likes of Infinity. With Mandy securing the takedown. 11, very low on health. Probably was able to retaliate with a knock. Yes, yes, it looks like that was the case. But 11 is naded out by Saint, which also ends up thirsting Blinky. Oh my goodness, that's going to leave it riding on G59 and Kites here. G59 holding position, utilizing that natural geographic cover, hiding behind a boulder here. And Lotus, Kites, utilizing the compound cover, which is in a huge abundance on this map. Even where the natural geographical cover is not. There's just so many compounds here on this map. However, in-game, that can all change. All right, Christie's fan club still close by. Their opponents here, while Infinity faces off against Lotus. Infinity still a full 4-person team of Glacier, another one of our sponsors, Saint, Positive, and Mandy. 1 kill to their name. All right, Stevie holding position, awaiting a potential push from the likes of Puppeteer. Just making sure I have all my stuff as it should be, and it is. So, a little bit of downtime here at the particular moment, which, you know, yeah, you're going to be left with moments of downtime as we discussed in round 1, but if it's going to be least likely in this event, it would be on this map because it's the smallest, but it's PUBG Mobile, and it still happens quite frequently. And so, as I said with the other matches, you know, a more passive early game can mean one thing for us, ladies and gentlemen, and that's a more action-packed climactic manner in-game. I go for Inactive, now facing off against the likes of Execute. Deeblim King in the chat rooting for Execute as we speak. Inactive making it rain hellfire on his opponent, taking him down a little bit lower on health. It's Kitten 3 who took that damage, but able to heal up in time. And look at this Kitten 3 with a Groza in hand. That could be very problematic. However, not noticing that Trick and Peralta have gotten another angle of high ground over Kitten 3. This could be huge. And that Kitten has been sent to the pound for sure. My dad jokes are in full. Trying to avenge their fallen teammate with some shots aimed a little bit further southwest bound uphill at the likes of Mizexis, not getting the connecting hits they were hoping for. Take note, ladies and gentlemen, of the split Mizexis is exercising here. It's a you could call it a 2-2 split, maybe a 2-1-1. I think 2-1-1 might be a little bit lenient on the term, but we're going to go ahead, not waste time. We're going to switch back up to Nova. At this point, Nova has been reduced to a 2-person team, but they have done so with 9 kills to their name. And 5 of those 9 kills are between K-Love and Mad GG. K-Love looking really strong with 4 of those kills all to his own. We got Mad GG really aiming in on Yona Boy here of F7. And Yona Boy is the final hope here for his team. F7 with 7 kills to their name. But look at this. If he's able to secure this revive on Yogurt, it could be huge. Yogurt with 5 kills to his name. He's obviously a heavy hitter and much more acquainted with our CQC. But it's going to be a nade from Mad GG. All that hope is cut short real quick. And Yona Boy is soon to follow. And out of the equation. Just like that. F7 is out of there. All right. Lotus, not going to waste time. Opportunity to work their way and potentially get a surprise angle on the likes of Infinity, but that's assuming Infinity is distracted with Mizexis. Or Puppeteer, pardon me. And they are not, but they're still taking hits. Infinity at this point down to Saint and Glacier. Glacier utilizing the geographical cover as it stands readily available, that high grass. But as their opponents are going to drive by. Glacier wrecks into Chloe as her teammate takes out Saint. Just like that. Nicely done, Glacier. A lot of improvement here. And just to reiterate, Glacier and her amazing husband, Hunter of Gunmen, aka Hog, are the sole sponsors of this $450 event, and they have never once asked anything in return. They do it not just out of the kindness of their heart, but their love for the PUBG Mobile community. So if you appreciate this event, be sure to extend a sincere and heartfelt thank you their way for allowing it to continue. And speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, Dead in February is already on the books, scheduled, and the poster will be released tomorrow. February marks 2 years running for the Dead in Month tournament, and I could not be more proud of that. My staff and I have put our heart and souls into this, and to see it be the longest standing North American non-affiliated event that combines Tier 1 communities with the open community, I think it's an important staple point for North America. The only other event that carries on as long in North America, non-affiliated event, is Rose League, which is owned and operated by my boy Shredder. If you guys aren't familiar with that, that's the longest standing event in PUBG Mobile, I believe. Official or non-official. Alright, well, Saint, the last hope here for Infinity, walking his way into zone in between the likes of Puppeteer and Lotus, and could even face a little attention from Mezexis. It's a risky one. The advantage that I think he has in his favor is that Mezexis is probably going to be preoccupied with Puppeteer on their own. And it looks like Trick cooking up a nade as we speak. Nade's raining over towards Junazai, not quite hitting the mark. They're going to try to utilize a little bit of smoke cover as they come in, but Saint from Infinity taken out right then by Lotus G59, who is now going to try to get a what he might believe to be a thirst, but it might end up getting Puppeteer, and it does! Now, whether or not he knew Puppeteer was already there, I'm not positive. Look at this. Inside. Able to secure that knock, a sneaky grass snake. And guys, that is going to be a common theme here on Sandhawk, but be aware that the heal strat is no longer as effective as it once was due to one of the recent updates, as well as the change in point scoring for official events, which we carry over into here. Now, if that is not yet the case of it having changed, I'm not quite positive. Notice, ooh, it's 27Q with a beautiful takedown, 3x M4, wrecking into 11. All the while, G59 up top, last hope, and is out of there. Goodness gracious, what a match. Great, great, great match. And any way you look at it, ladies and gentlemen, as always, that's game over. And Mezexis really putting their name on the map here with this one, taking first place, that gold medal with 11 kills between 3 of their players. 5 of those 11 kills came from Peralta alone. Really great effort. We got Lotus securing second this time around, and that's going to be with 11 kills for them as well. And honestly, Lotus looking really strong overall at this point. Yeah, granted, I understand that they have one great match and one match where maybe the placement might not have been all impressive, but their kill count was still high, so I don't think it was going to be so detrimental as to knock them off of their progress. We got Nova securing third place, and that's going to be with 12 kills. Puppeteer in fourth with 4 kills between what's-his-name and Junzai. Infinity grabbing fifth this time around with 3 kills, 2 of which are from Glacier. Execute in 6th, and that's going to be with 1 kill from Fate's Kitten. Christie's Fan Club in 7th, but with 0 kills. Your Executioner in 8th with 0. F7 grabbing 9th with 7 kills, but 5 of those 7 came from Yogurt alone. Pittsburgh Knights, once again as a 3-piece, grabbing 10th this time around with 3 kills between Spec and what's-his-name. Golden Eagles having a real rough day here. Last place, last match. This match, 11th with 0 kills. It's a tough one. Plot in 12th place with 8 kills. We got the Allied Assault crew in 13th with 4. ITX in 14th. That's going to be with 0 kills. 15th is going to belong to the likes of Ventru, and that's going to be with 0. And speaking of 0, we got Manic, another rough one for him. 16th, 0. Growing stronger, carrying on that trend. 17th in 0. Glock Gaming in 18th with 1 kill from Cash. And lastly, coming in 19th, it's Freedom with 0. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that concludes round 3 of 4, but stick around because we still have one more match to go. Now, we've seen our participants on all the maps that we're going to be doing, so it's time to end things where it all began as we take things back to the start, the very first map ever introduced to PUBG Mobile, the map that our participants should be by far most acquainted with, Erangel, of course, as we return for our 4th and final round in a few short moments. This is my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in January Tournament Finals, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunmen and Glacier Gaming. Stick around. We'll be back soon. Really important. I didn't mean to downplay it here. I'm not going to stick around watching this for too much longer. I think we're going to... They threw a nade, however, in retaliation that did hit. Knights with 4 kills to their name, 3 of which go to this member right here. Lotus coming in and picking off Allied Assault. Great for their third party. This is TFNA getting a little bit of false and just were eliminated. Potentially, no, they were not. They're still a full 3-piece. I say full 3-piece. That's kind of a contradiction, but the inner doesn't 3-piece. And West Mellow, him is down. West Mellow remains, and that is that for him. Go tune into Christie's fan club. They're pretty darn close in proximity here to their opponents in 4 and 4. 4 and 4. Oh, 666 getting a takedown right then and there, and revenge served cold and fast as Playboy retaliates. Official events will see carry over indicated. Now, if that is not yet the case of it having changed, I'm not quite positive. Ooh, it's 27Q with a beautiful takedown, 3x in 4, wrecking into 11. All the while, G59 off top, last hope, and is out of there. Goodness gracious. So, where is the engagement going to happen? Are we going to see a well-placed nade? No time to wait, because we got other fights happening. It's Nova facing off against the likes of Manic. It's actually Kindness in particular. Oh, Odd trying to go prone, but too little, too late, right? Ender the first one. Alright, well, Nova still going off in the distance. I keep looking in on that, thinking it's about to pop off, but Nova now with 3 kills, and Kindness adding onto it with another thirst of his own, bringing them up to 4 kills between Kindness and Mad GG alone. On this guy right here to revive his teammates in time before the swarm from Lotus, and he does so get 1 revive. Now, if he can revive Spec, it's a huge error on Lotus. But boy, that nade raining down on him, and he has got very limited moments here. And boom, taken out. Only 1 hope left for the Pittsburgh Knights. Get the attention of others just for a few more minutes, and then after this match, the remainder of this event will be streamed exclusively on my YouTube alone to try to build a subscriber count. 27K does get the takedown on Wing, but with low health, he is down in retaliation. Okay, good. We are getting all of it. All right, 11 somehow clutching it here for his team. That is going to be up and retaliate onto West Mellow with some UMP shots of his own. Minimal damage dealt, but still. That 1-year anniversary UMP looking nice. Alright, neither of beautiful jump. Kind of, he's all good. The Ogsters is doing just fine. My apologies about stepping away there. But we're back in the mix. Christie's fan club up against the likes of Puppeteer with Fishy at the forefront of this. Trading nades here with Jun Zai, pardon me. And boy, his nade hits, and a little bit of retaliatory nades fired back, but not really the connecting damage that they were hoping for. So, let's see here. While we have a brief moment, ladies and gentlemen. We might not have that brief moment, and oh, he gets them both? Right. And it is not over. It looks like these X is doing some quick work onto the execute as the other Kitten Master is down as well, leaving it on the face. Kitten 1 is taken out. 4-4 now riding on Belkson, Limitless, and Jader. Belkson with a little bit of high ground here, but he's going to compromise that to go after Fishy with his partner here and use the numbers. Understandable, and Limitless does successfully get the knock, at which point Belkson just adds on and secures due to one of the recent updates, as well as the change in point score for official events, which we carry over into here. Now, if that is not yet the case of it having changed, I'm not quite positive. But notice, ooh, it's 27Q with a beautiful takedown, 3x in. All right, no time to waste. Here we go. Zexus up again. Here we see Trick firing away, M4 in hand, dealing out some damage, but taking more damage from the light from Execute from behind. Kitten taking a ton of fire here and is down, just like that. Driving right on by, and oh, just like that, Mizexis up in the thick of it yet again. And look at this, Mizexis, everyone on the team has a kill. However, they did lose Peralta in the process. So, senior standoff right now against the likes of Allied Assault. It's a quick takedown. And now Peralta has come to join his teammate here. Let's get a little bird's eye view above the ground, so we can see around the smoke. That nade dealing out minimal damage to Wing. A little bit more damage from an active nade to add on to it. Oh, Peralta is taken down right in front of our eyes. A little bit to cover he can here, and try to get healed up here while what's his name of the Pittsburgh Knights try to provide overwatch and cover fire for him. And here we have it. This guy right here, cooking up a nade. Oh, but being naded out in retaliation instead. Revenge served cold. And this is a winner-take-all with the oh my goodness, Wes Mello with a monster nade there. Beautiful nade. And look at this, another one to get the thirst on Conor. But look, Revenge served. Oh, pardon me. Oh, did I say it? He does get a takedown on Mandy. Mandy is down. It's going to be a tough one for him. Fishy taking quite a bit of damage as well in the process, being reduced down to about a quarter of its overall health. But look at this, Poppy Chulo does get the thirst, but Fishy is naded out and retaining it as a full 4-person team to end game. They're doing so with 1 kill to their name. And while placement is huge, ladies and gentlemen, it's not going to be likely enough to get you the first place prize. And this is a winner-take-all. Oh my goodness, Wes Mello with a monster nade there. Which means that they're going to absolutely need to dial things back a bit if Kindness is not able to get the revive on his fallen teammate as KV Love provides overwatch and cover fire. And here we have it. Kindness firing away with little help. And they secure it. Wow. This is actually getting some takedowns up against the likes of Infinity. With Mandy securing the takedown. 11 very low on health. Probably was able to retaliate with a knock. Yes, it looks like that was the case, but 11 is naded out by Saint, which also ends up thirsting Blinky. They're utilizing the geographical cover as it stands readily available, that high grass. But as their opponents are coming to drive by, Glacier her teammate takes out Saint. Just like that. Nicely done, Glacier. A lot of improvement in opponents here in Freedom. Still have quite a few members chasing him, and the only way for him to get out of this is probably to take on the fight, because he is just in the middle of the open land with nowhere to really hide at this point. And boom goes the dynamite, all too metaphorically. And with walls down, here we go. Knight is in. Can it hit? Oh, it does some damage to Caleb, not quite enough. Up here facing off the distance, and that is Conor getting a takedown on Mad GG. Is Nidison going to use this opportunity to push up? It looks like he might. Alid is removed from behind by the push from the Pittsburgh Knights Spec. Now Clot working on the PKs, getting a takedown on what's his name, leaving it on Spec. What's his name? Spec is down. It's all on the final hope. Dynamite. It's actually YOC27K with his nade. And then Trick adding on to the insult, adding a little insult to injury right there with another takedown on top of it. So, yeah, that is basically the structure. We ran 3 rounds of qualifiers, and 4 teams from each qualifier made it here to compete against this group of Tier 1. That is Dottie from Glock Gaming with a quick thirst on the likes of Manic. Nicely. Ironically enough, 3 of those 5 teams are still 4-person teams, and one of them is a 3-piece. This is going to be a heck of a Bobby Chula with a beautiful takedown on Puppeteer members here who did not seem to know about his presence, but giving up his location, and he just became a... Because if 2 teams focus on one, it's that group. I mean, almost instantaneously. All right. Well, with Juan G down, Kono was down. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all you cutie patooties in between. Welcome back to our 4th and our final round of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in January tournament finals, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunmen and Glacier Gaming. And we're going to be concluding the day, as I said, with the same way that we began the day, an Erangel match. Everything that we need to say about Erangel, we already got out of the way in round 1. So I'm going to save that whole spiel, and we're just going to focus on the flight path and where people are going. Not necessarily like the best flight path, but it's definitely not a bad one. It's centralized enough to give our participants plenty of drop options, including we got North George, South George, Rozhawk, School, Pachinki. We got Yasnaya easily, Stalber, Kameshki, all our potential drop areas. And as we can see, already getting some early early migration northbound. And that's going to be between Clot and their opponents in Glock Gaming, potentially. A little further ahead of them, we got the crew in ITX heading over to Yasnaya, and it looks like they might have a member of Glock with them as well. Even further out, Puppeteer and Mizexis jumping northbound towards Stalber, and they're not alone either. They've also got the crew in Infinity heading that way, and it looks like Mizexis may push a little further south. But no time to waste, ladies and gentlemen, because Nova is already up in the thick of it, so let's get into it. Those of you just now tuning in, this is the 4th and final round. And everybody, if you're not in my Discord server, this is an event that we have run every single month now. It is 2 years running as of now. It's February, so it's 2 years running, and I could not be more proud of that. And so yes, this event is very, very recurring. We give away $450 in prizes every single month. So how can you enter into an event like this? Well, there's only one way, ladies and gentlemen, and that is going to be with my Discord server. So, if you're not already in the RedEyes Den, to enter this monthly $450 tournament, join my Discord server. Bam, link is now provided. Copy. And where? Copy. And sorry, guys. The reason I'm doing this all on Trovo or on YouTube right now is so I can build up the follower base, so I can reach 1,000 followers and start monetizing it here. Ooh, goodness, ITX scammer taken down at the hands of Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan, of course, of Team Freedom. And it's going to be a quick thirst, giving him his first kill and their team's first as well. All the while, ITX being reduced down to a 3-piece, still right up in the mix here. Long Thong holding position, awaiting what he believes to be an inevitable push. However, they do have the numbers in their favor, so maybe ITX is going to be a bit more hesitant. And we got Simple here, readily equipped with the UMP-45 Uzi combo. That's a double SMG, more so out of necessity than preference, I would imagine. Tuning in to the Golden Eagles. You know what? I am going to give credit here to Golden Eagles. They have not had a very ideal day in terms of kills or placement. But you know what? As a, they're a tier 1 team. They're a pro org. And they really, it's not when you're doing well how you engage with the community that really concerns me. It's when you're not doing well how you engage with the community. And these guys participated all the way to the end. And there is no faster way to get re-invited to my event than to just be a good sport. And even if you're not doing good or doing well, sticking around and finishing the event out. I can tell you with the utmost confidence that if you are a tier 1 org that doesn't complete the event, I will 100% ban you from the next month. I'm at a point where I do not really... I'm putting out a... Oh my goodness, Nasty drops a nasty nade. Golly, boy. That's absolutely getting added to the clipping pool. And he is out of the equation just like that. Okay. So, where should we be tuning into? Oh, anyways, what I was going to say is, yeah, even if you are a tier 1 team, I'll 100% ban you from the next month if you don't participate in all of the matches. We're giving away $450 and inviting teams to the finals to skip that whole process and just be brought in. So it's, even if you are a tier 1 org, this is still a great opportunity for you, and just money to be earned. And if you're not going to respect the event and participate the whole time, and I'm not speaking to a single team that's in this match, but there was one team that bowed out, and I don't know who it was, but tier 1 org or no, respect the event and myself by participating, because if you are a tier 1 org, we bring you in at the expense of another tier 1 org, and I get contacted every single day, numerous times a day, about entering into the event. So me choosing you over another team will be for nothing if you leave. So huge thank you, particularly to the Golden Eagles right now for me, or from me, I should say, for continuing and being Manic Vortex just wrecking into Chapo of Glock Gaming. That's going to leave Thoughty in a bit of a conundrum here. Thoughty is the last hope for his team, and holding position with that AK Scar L combo. And look at that in the distance, Manic being worked in upon. This would be Thoughty's blessing. Nova, Mad GG of Nova, quickly wrecking into other opponents in Manic, and that's going to be another blessing here for Thoughty, as he's able to get a takedown on Onion. Unfortunately for him, his ability to acquire the thirst is going to be a lot slower, just given the cover that Onion has and the proximity to his teammate Vortex. That's not to say it can't happen, but the odds of it happening before a third party comes in or something along those lines, it's slimmer. All right, on the board, we've got Peralta of Mizek going in with a nade and acquiring the team's third kill and his second. And, oh, just like that, a secured thirst for the fourth kill. Nicely done. Mizexis in full form here. Full 4-person team, 4 kills to their name. Going back to another focal team of the night here, it's Lotus, and they are just swimming in a pool of Ventru members. We got Conor here with a great idea to try to secure himself a nice bit of Overwatch. Climbing up to the tippy top of the tower could be a huge angle on his opponents in Lotus if they are unaware of his location. Actually, let's just take note. That boa method that I was speaking about, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the crew in Lotus is going to give it a go. As you can see here, let me zoom in and give you kind of the analysis breakdown. We got 3 members down to the south with Conor breaking from the pack, straying away, and rotating northbound. Now, in doing so, he's acquired this second angle on his opponents in Lotus. And you see what's happening right here? We've got a member of Lotus already dedicating the entirety of his attention to Conor alone, turning his back away from 3 other members of Ventru. This could be huge for them. Now, especially if this Ventru group has one more member, say, stray off to the right, go a little bit eastbound and secure another angle, a third angle. Well, with that waterway behind Lotus, that essentially serves as a guard where the only way that they're crossing is by swimming or using the bridge. So it leaves a lot of opportunities for Ventru. But as I said, it's a very difficult tactic to implement, and Ventru not really going for it this time, and that's totally understandable. Honestly, I think it's probably the right move. Let me get back into the main scene. Probably the right move here, just because, as I said, it is difficult to implement. It's very easy to mess up. And if you're not well rehearsed in the method, it can more often than not be to your detriment. All right, we got G59 of Lotus getting another takedown here. We got Ventru at this point reduced down to Walls, Nidison, and Juan G, as Conor was just eliminated. But it wasn't all for naught. Looks like they have a knock on Lotus as well. And Walls, with his teammate, approaching the bench here, working their way in the open. A little bit of a risky position here. 11 is up and about, and so is Kites. Pardon me. Kites is up and about, bringing Lotus once again to a full 4-person team. Guys, I hate to just harp on you over and over. Oh, this love triangle's getting intense here as Clot joins the party. And this could be huge. 11 just trying to get away from the action there, but yeah, he tries to get to a position inside the crate for cover, but unfortunately for him, they saw him do it just before he gets to that cover. So he is shot down to just above half health as nades are thrown inbound towards him, somehow not getting into it. I guess that door blocked it. But if he's able to heal up all the way, I'd be a little surprised. I see. It's not that it's not down to hesitation from his opponents in Clot. It's that there's Ventru right here. And it has them hesitant. All right, Pittsburgh Knights going in after F7. Pittsburgh Knights already losing spec, leaving it down to what's his name and what's his name. Come on, yeah. Took way too long to get that. So unworth the clip. All right, so what remains of the Pittsburgh Knights? The what's his name and what's his name? Just shrouding themselves in a cloud of smoke here as their opponents in F7 ideally would be trying to stick a revive. Not sure what's happening with that, but Clot could be approaching the party here as well. All right, here we go. What's his name? Driving right in between a rock and a hard place, right in between Clot and F7, and he doesn't take any damage. Now his teammate also not taking a single bullet of damage. Interesting. Guys, if you're just now tuning in, this is the 4th and the final round of the night from my $450 Dead in January tournament finals. But as I noted, we run this event every single month. It is now 2 years running exactly, which is huge. It leaves it as the second longest North American non-affiliated event in the entire region. So I'm very proud of it. And it's also the only event that, only recurrent non-affiliated North American event that combines the T1 community with the T2 and Open Scrim community. So, how can you register for this event? There's only one way, and that's by joining my server, the RedEyes Den. The link is pinned to the top of the chat feed, if anyone is interested. Shed in February is already on the books, scheduled, ready to go. We'll be announcing opening up registration probably either tomorrow or the day after, but I would say fairly likely tomorrow. Ooh, Clot Bird going off in the distance. And here we have inactive from his X's just wrecking into that member of Pittsburgh Knights. Now, can his teammate come in and retaliate? Oh my goodness! Inactive. So OP with that. The gas can. Just being able to react like that in the spur of the moment, those extemporaneous judgment calls is what makes this a tier 1 org. I mean, you don't see that lack of hesitation in the lower tiers quite as often. Why is it not capturing? There we go. Rename. I want to make sure I get that for social media. Okay. Well, focusing on the likes, allied assaults. All the while, Blinky from Lotus eliminated outside of the zone, by the zone. And I'm not really sure how that, came to be, but what the circumstances were. But it does bring me to an amazing point. Guys, I don't care what tier you're in the community or how long you've been playing. Nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, has a higher KD than that blue zone. Well, Bird is down. That bird cannot fly at this point, so it's down to Clock. To carry on here. Can they survive this inevitable push from the Golden Eagles? Ooh, he does. Ultimately, in this position, he was outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned. And luckily for the Golden Eagles, they are able to secure that. But no time to rest as the likes of Execute pushes on and smelling the pick off the remains. However, for Kitten Master, it's not going to be the case. He is out of the equation, leaving it on Kitten 1, 2, and 3. Oh! Kitten 2 just taking a big load of damage there, being reduced down to 1/4 of his overall health. Going to try to heal up while Kitten 3 provides overwatch and cover fire. And here we have it. He does. Honey Badger, but all for naught as the Golden Eagle Suki wrecks house and finishes the job. All right, tuning into the fan club, Christie's fan club. Well, they, like sharks in the water, smelled the blood and have the intention of coming in for a potential third party and picking off the remains of their opponents in Golden Eagles. However, the zone shift has spoken, and ladies and gentlemen, let's just take note of it. I love it. The participants are cringing right now because what little bit of land was afforded in this final, one of the final zones here, has now been reduced almost in half. With this water taking up so much space, the participants are left with fewer and fewer options. And I mean, while they could go in the water, as we can see one participant is, you know, it definitely is leaving you in a position where you're extremely vulnerable and just able to be picked out without a way of defending yourself. So realistically, if I were one of these teams, I would say that the ideal move here would be exactly what the crew in Manic is doing. Oops. Going and putting their back here. So what they're doing is able to work their way out to the farthest portion that the land will allow. It's the furthest out to the water, so they can have a little bit of cover here on the sides, a little bit of space. But even more so than that, they're putting themselves in a position where they only have to really account for 3 angles here, 3 sides. They only have a 270-degree area to account for and worry about. They can leave their entire back turned here, with exception to people who might be using a boat, which doesn't happen too often. All right, well, Puppeteer reduced down to Slowy and Fang, and when you're at half your starting spot, you need to be a little bit more reserved here, especially considering that the four-piece of Nova. Fang taking quite a bit of damage there, being reduced down to 1/3 of his overall health. Gonna try his best to get a first aid off in time, all the while Kindness taking out his only remaining teammate, Slowy. So it's gonna be a tough one. And boom goes the dynamite, ladies and gentlemen. Golly. Alright, well, as we're down to our final 16s in our final match of the Dead in January event. So, we've got ourselves 15 people spread across 6 teams. It's a 4v3, v3, v2, v2, v1 in our 4th and final round. Christie's fan club had an opportunity to potentially shoot at as I say that, at a member of Nova. However, they hesitated, and instead Nova firing on them, securing a knock. KK Love coming to work his way, using the opportunity to work his way into the snooze zone while his teammates finish off the remains of Poppy Chulo of the Christie fan club. Well, that's going to leave Christie's fan club down to just one member left. And that's going to be Playboy here, holding position in the grass, utilizing what cover he can, and also utilizing some late-game utilities, going to exemplify just how critical those can be in the game. On top of that, he has a vehicle there, not just for faster rotating, but in a pinch, that's going to be his cover. That can provide a little bit of cover as well. All right, the final showdown, ladies and gentlemen. The final calm before the storm. The Golden Eagles still have Suki, Mitsuki, and Fangs, pardon me. And they got 7 kills. This is much closer to the Golden Eagles' usual gameplay than I'm used to seeing here. A little more in line with their style. Manic being worked on here. It seems like they are the focal point for the likes of Nova. Even though Glacier of Infinity is right next to him, I don't think Nova is all too aware of that. But if they were to approach on to Onion, it would be a tough situation for Infinity. So, Onion not only has to account for Nova, but also has to account for the possibility that Glacier could swim out of the water here and be right next to him, ready and waiting to shoot. He himself knows the risk of pushing out there as well, in terms of vulnerability. Firing over at Glacier, he does get some shots off, but in doing so, he has basically rung the dinner bell for Nova, and they just picked him off easy. All right, 5 teams remain, spread across 11 people. We got KK Love coming to work his way right by Infinity's final hope, Glacier, but he wasn't aware of that. He was thinking that he had just eliminated the final threat from the other team. All right. Well, Nova, at this point, GK first. Another takedown to his name. Full 4-piece team. 10 kills to their name. This is why Nova has the reputation that they do. They are just such a phenomenal team. And honestly, given the current state of our Tier 1 scene, I think it's a very valid argument to say that they are definitely in the running for the overall strongest intact. That's not to say I think by broad opinion, it could be argued they are one of the region's. Look at this. Now they have 11th knock here. Mad being with the 3x4. This is going to be interesting here. Mad taking minimal damage from that nade. And GK First actually taking... GK First and hell that they're raining onto Allied Assault. Allied Assault at this point down to 1 member only, and that's 103. And just like that, wrecked into like it's no one's business. And boom, ladies and gentlemen. Golly, that is game over. And what a performance by Nova. That was phenomenal. Taking first place with 15 kills, and over half of those kills are going to kindness alone. Kindness exerting a lot of kindness to his teammates, but a lot of just vulgar assaults to everyone else on the playing field. Huge shout out to our second place team, the Golden Eagles, because they have had a rough first 3 matches. And as a tier 1 org, you can see it time and time again. A lot of times tier 1s, if they don't take the event seriously, they'll bow out the second things, stop looking hopeful. And it's just a huge slap in the face to me, to the participants, and the viewers. So it just says a lot about them as people and as a team, that they stuck around and never let their eye off the prize and continue to participate. Not only that, but also showing a very strong performance in their final match here, acquiring the silver medal with 7 kills. And yeah, they're not in the running to take the prize home, but they did manage to send a message to the remainder of the playing field saying, hey, we might not have done the way we would have hoped today, but we absolutely are going to show you why we deserved to be a tier 1 invited team. Allied Assault securing 3rd place, and that's going to be with 4 kills, half of which go to VZM. Christie's Fan Club acquiring 4th, but with a big fat onion for kills. Speaking of 0 kills, we got one of our sponsors teams, Infinity, grabbing 5th, 0 kills, but 5th place as a 3-piece, that takes some finessing. A little bit of improvement from Manic as well, acquiring 6 with 5 kills, 3 of which go to Vortex. Coming in 7th, it's going to be Puppeteer, but with, unfortunately, 0 kills to speak of for them. We got Execute securing 8th with 6 kills, and 4 of those 6, 2/3 of the kills, came from Kitten 3. 9th, going to Lotus. Now, this is unfortunate for them because it's not the performance that they were hoping to end the night with, and it probably is going to shoo them out of that first place running. But I'm not a mathematician by any means, so we'll wait for the scores to come out tomorrow to know for sure. But for now, Lotus, 9th place with 3 kills. We got Clot also having another rough go, especially considering their performance in round 1, which was just phenomenal. I believe that they're the winners of round 1, and that was the same map. So, you could imagine that they came here with a little bit of momentum under their belt and a little bit of confidence saying, hey, this is a map that we're very strong with. But 10th place is not going to be the placement they were hoping for. 4 kills ain't bad, but that placement is going to kind of render those 4 kills probably inconsequential. We got 11th place going to the likes of Freedom with 5 kills. 12th place to Mezexis, and that's going to be with 8. The Pittsburgh Knights in 13th this time around with 2. We got F7 grabbing 14th with 1 kill from Yogurt. Ventru in 15th, but with 0 kills. Block Gaming in 16th with 2. Growing Stronger securing 17th with 0. Your Executioner in 18th with 0. And lastly, coming in 19th and last place, is going to be ITX Esports. And that's going to be with 1 kill from Nasty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has just been an absolute honor and a pleasure getting to cast these $450 finals for you guys today. And just to reiterate, this is not a one-time thing. This is a recurring event. It goes down every single month. I've taken 1 month off of this event in 2 years. So you can expect it to be very recurring. And there's only one way to enter into the event, and that is through my Discord server, the RedEyes Den. My Discord server is pinned to the top of the chat feed, but I'm going to paste it again here for you. Please do be aware, guys. I'm desperately trying to grow my YouTube. And I'm getting pretty close to the brink of being able to monetize. I need 1,000 followers to be able to earn money on it. And we are over 800. So it would be huge for me if you guys could drop a subscribe and like the video as well. And yeah, let's see. I was gonna add something on to that. Oh yes, to kind of add a little incentive to subscribing for my YouTube, I'm also going to be running the occasional round of UC custom rooms, like I did back in the day. But this time it will be streamed exclusively on this YouTube channel. So the only way to participate in the event and to receive the codes, but especially to be paid out, is by subscribing to this YouTube channel. So if you haven't already, please consider doing so. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that having said that, that's going to conclude the Dead in January $450 finals. It's just been an absolute blast here. And we're going to be back at you with Dead in February coming on the books very shortly. I will probably be opening up registration and announcing it with the poster tomorrow, most likely. If not tomorrow, then it will definitely be day after at the very latest. We've got everything set and ready to go for that. Well, I just want to let you all know that it's a little bit breaking away from the theme of PUBG Mobile, but I am going to be doing 3 days of gameplay stream for Hogwarts Legacy. The game is released on February 10th, but I have I pre-ordered the deluxe package, and so I will be getting 3 days of early access, and it'll be the first game I'll have ever played on this new PC. So I'm not really sure what to expect. I'm not really, I've been looking forward to this game. Pretty bummed out it's not a solo mode, but it is going to be a lot of fun and a little bit more laid back, not too formal. Just some people hanging out as a community. If you're a Harry Potter fan, enjoying kind of the experience and just kicking it, having fun, good conversation. Yeah. So, anything else that I need to say? I don't believe so. I think that pretty much wraps it up, everyone. So thank you guys so freaking much for being here. Y'all's support means the absolute world to me. I put my heart and soul into this, into casting. I'm doing everything in my power to make this a successful career. And by the way, just for the record, if anyone's thinking about trying to pursue casting as a career and leaving their full-time job to do so, not a smart idea just because it's not a stable thing. I'm booking it. I want it more than anything, so I decided to go for it either way. But it is a very tough grind, and it's very unstable. So any support from you guys is just so appreciated. Having said that, there is one way to show your support directly and without interference from any other third party, and that is by tipping or donating. And oops, let's see here. Where is Streamlabs? Making sure this is correct. I'm just going to paste it here in case anyone feels like, why am I live on Twitch again? Wow. Hey, Zen, Quad, how's it going, guys? I was not supposed to be live on Twitch for this last match. I didn't realize I was. I must have ended the stream and gone live again. But either way, it happens. If you aren't already following on Twitch, please do, but also please subscribe to the YouTube. So, not going to waste more of your time. Here's the link if you guys would like to give a direct donation. I receive the money immediately, and it's extremely appreciated, but do not feel pressure. More than anything, I just appreciate y'all's support and presence. So with that being said, we're going to end it. We'll be back again next month. You guys are just the best. Thank you so much for your support. And we are going to, I've never rated someone on Twitch or YouTube, so I'm not sure how. Go to edit, select customization. I'm not sure who we can raid yet either. Home. Live. Oh, yeah, we're going to raid Ace Lawrence here. Nope, he's not live either. God dang it. If anyone has someone to suggest in the chat, just let me know. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't think I've got anyone available to raid at the moment. Oh, yes, we do. We're going to go raid Jacob Gaming. If we can. Manage. Studio. Huh. This is so confusing. Edit customization. Where? Gosh, come on now. All right, well, in that case, I think I'm going to have to give up on it because I am going to be going live immediately after the stream ends for some personal gameplay, and I don't want to waste that opportunity. Come on. I don't think it's going to work this way. But I'll see if I can. I'll give it a go. I don't think it's going to work. It doesn't work. Okay. All right, guys. Have a great night. Have fun. Be safe. Be kind to one another. Oh, wait. Edit video. Customization. Here we go. I guess I can't. Not yet. All right, guys. Have a great night. Got Fang coming in from the side. Could get a potential angle here on Kitten 1. Kitten 2 also moving around. Looks like they could be distracted by Glock Gaming, and they are. Ooh, just wrecked up. And due to one of the recent updates, as well as the change in point score for official events, which we carry over into the